What up, guys? It's Rasan64 signing on for a new video. Now, what we're going to be talking about is the update on the software side of the suit. So, over here in this jumble of mess on my desk is different components. Got the helmet over here, I got the chest plate, and I got the arm. Now, I'm going to power each one up and show you what it does. Let's start with the chest plate. There we go. So this piece is removable, and if I restart the circuit, blink red, then it'll wait. And it'll wait for about 30 seconds for me to install this. So when I do, there's a set of magnets hooked up to a magnetic switch, and if I do it right, it should make it close. So restart that, and if it doesn't work, I'll check my wires and see why. Oh, it kind of it wants to. So I gotta still working out the bugs. If I had a guide rail, that would probably help. But for now, it's still just a DVD slide. What's up, boy? Okay, moving on to the next component. Let's talk about the arm. Just because I'm curious to see if it would work, I'm going to hook the arm up to the same battery pack. Ooh. We got power. That's always a good sign. Okay. We'll take our 12 volt. Plug that up right there. Grab our glove. And boom. Let's get you a better angle on that arm. Okay. So now got that running, and I am monitoring the values. And what is my value threshold? Total of 300. It must have been real simple. Well, it's already at 100, but I don't think it's going. Oh, 545. 700. 700. Geez, 610. Okay. And then just relax. 342. Chill out. Okay. I'm gonna try resetting it, because I wanted to be able to close my hand and not worry about it triggering. But then again, this is hooked to the wrong finger, so I should probably hook that to the correct finger. So now I got hooked to the right finger. But I think 300 might still be a little too low. So I'm gonna stick it at, let's say, 500. And we're gonna see if I can close my hand, open it, and not worry about, oh. That's what I don't want to worry about. I forgot that this finger was this sensor's a lot more active. I'm gonna just take this off because I'm not sure how running the board like that is going to affect having new code uploaded. Okay. Let's open up the serial monitor before I put it on. Okay, I got zeros, a 10. See if that was just, yeah, that was just random debounce. Okay, sliding it on, just putting on the glove, I got an 8. Now I'm at 57, 338, just chilling, 369, just chilling, 433, we're getting a little too close, I'm going to relax my hand. Okay, drop it. This position it's at 204, 52, 61, 260 now, 312, see if it just keeps on going up, 314, very slightly, hand open like this is probably where it's going to be giving bigger numbers. Yeah, 405, 469. We're getting real close to that. So turn my hand back this way. Oh, drop it down to my side. So chilling at my side, 42, wave my hand like this, 270. We're just going to goof around with it till it actually triggers and see how much motion I have before wanting to trigger it. Okay, but then if add some fours, 481, 510, boom, magic number. Okay, drops back to 407, arm goes down. So let's say I want to pick up a drill. 497, yep, this is going to cause the arm to curl. Oh, it went down, surprising. So I can hold, let's pick up a bigger drill. See if I can trigger the drill without triggering. Okay. And now I want to try to pick up a table with one hand. Up, up. You're supposed to still be going up. Let me readjust. It felt like it popped a wire out. Okay. Now, go pick up a table. Well, that almost worked. But obviously, if I'm trying to pick up a table, I want to pick it up, and I don't want to just pick it up for a few seconds and then right away put it down. It's not being consistent. Maybe let's just close the hand tight enough to trigger it. Yeah, closing it tight like this, it's going to like 600, so it's gonna, I need to work on how sensitive it is while I'm closing my hand around things, so relax it. Whoa, that was fun. Is this the part where I bore you guys with some code? It might be. Nah. Yeah. We'll talk about the code. Actually, I think we'll talk about all the items, and then at the end we'll talk about the code for said items. So I'll show you guys how it works, and then I'll show you how I coded it. So one more time, just because I enjoy it. Okie dokie. Let's move on to the helmet, I guess. You know what? We'll get that properly wired up as well. So we got that cable. So, just as the same as the arms, the helmet runs off of the capacitive touch sensor and Arduino, along with a virtual reality visor. It's the same concept as the original helmet that I built, except now it's awesome. And by awesome I mean wearable and, you know, not going to stab people in the face when they try to wear it. Which is always something you want to shoot for, because that helps you avoid lawsuits. Where's this one right there? Let's do this to see if you guys can actually even see that. Yeah, you could kind of see the red light flashing right there. The little startup sequence for that. And then the helmet has its own little startup sequence with the flickering lights. The servo and the helmet also position checks itself to make sure it is fully ready. So let's talk about this helmet. Gotta walk all the way around them. So for starters, the helmet was originally a Dollar Tree virtual reality Google Cardboard. So I had a phone holder because there was only this Velcro strap, so I had a little phone holder. Then it has this little arm that pops out, and it has a stylus tip on it, and that's what gives the phone the input data, or just to help it register that it's being touched. So that is now hooked into this servo motor right here on the top. Then I have another little bump you can probably see right here. This is a Bluetooth transmitter, and it is hooked up to the headphones inside of it. Then it also has a little charge port right there. And then the Arduino Uno controls the servo and the LEDs. Oh, and the capacitive touch sensor, which is wired in and hidden right here. You can't really see it. There's a piece of breadboard, and the resistor wires just slipped through and ran through the back over there. So yeah, let's show you what that looks like when I touch that sensor. So the way I wanted it to run is kind of like a TV remote. Yes, I still have the arm hooked up to it as well. But something has become, oh goodness, there we are. My servo motor came undone. But yeah, you'll probably be able to hear it in the background when I engage it. The way I wanted it to work as is kind of like a TV remote when you're in the virtual environment and you want to select something, you click on it like you're using a TV remote. So that's how I designed that. So you'll put your phone in. Oh. Relax, relax, relax. Try I'll work on that. Just unplug that for right now. But when you're inside the virtual reality visor, you need some way to still send that data. So that's the, oh, it also does long press. So if you just hold it, you'll just do a continuous. So I guess if there's like a drawing app out there for VR that you just like look around and you draw and make shapes, you can use that for that. I did synchronize the LEDs with the servo, so when the servo goes, the LEDs blink. And yeah, the helmet's actually really simple. I like it. So yeah, that is the quick update. Thanks for watching. It's been Rasan64. Probably haven't seen my face in this video, but that's okay. Have a great day. Yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else? I guess I could work on the serial data. Oh, the code. I have to show you guys the code. That's what I was forgetting. I almost got away with that. Alright, and here is the code for the hand. And let's try to get this serial monitor open. There we go. You see how it's just showing zeros for that, and then that random 2, which is a debounce, I'm guessing, and a 5 debounce. We'll just guess monitor. It's a lot of random value. Anyway, so what the code does is it waits to get a value over 450. But right there it says 400. JJJJ. Okay, there we go. So, yeah, we have a lot more to talk about actually. So, first thing you do is you include the capacitive touch sensor library, and then you'll define your relay pins as CW for clockwise and CCW for counterclockwise to 10 and 11. Then you'll set up your capacitor sensors, which are bridged connections between pins 4 and 2, and then you connect a resistor 10 mega ohm. It doesn't have to be a 10 mega ohm resistor, but I find anything above 10k ohm does well, and the higher resistor you get, the more sensitive the sensor becomes. So instead of being a touch, I keep hitting this. So instead of it being like a touch sensor, it actually becomes more of a proximity sensor, which could be useful. So then you also have to define those pins as outputs to tell the board that it will be sending data and information to those pins. Set up your serial monitor so you can see what's going on. And then you have your totals for your capacitive touch sensors. I really don't know too much about this part, to be honest. That's just one of the things that are included in the library. So then you have your serial print, and this is just printing in lines, because if you don't add something like this, it will just chuck all of the data into one constant stream, which is hard to read. Then I have a really simple if statement. So if total 1 equals 450 or greater, then turn pin 1, CW pin high, CCW low. Anything else though, the CW pin's low and the CCW is high. So the motor is always going, so it's not going to be, and since it's a linear actuator, it can't be driven backwards. But with the way I designed the suit, when the arms are fully extended downward in a relaxed position, I still am able to move my arms freely, but when it's contracted and pulled all the way up, those arms aren't moving. So yeah, that's the really, it's simple when you just add the library. So that's that for the arm. Let's go and open up. Actually, let's just go File, Sketchbook, chest plate. Now I have in the initial setup LED 2 on 10, initiate relay. I didn't show it, but I built a relay circuit that controls the DVD tray, and that's rubber band to snap it back into place. Yeah. Or no. Yeah. Yes. So, yeah. LED 2 relay, or LED 2 on 10, relay pin 8. LED 1 is on 13. Well, LED 13 on Arduino boards is their main indication LED. So that LED will always be on. So keep that in mind. So if you want a LED that's always on, you can always have it hooked to pin 13. Next is the void setup, which looks a little menacing, but it's not really at all. It's just really repeated lines of code to have the LEDs blink, and it's mainly just one LED. So in the beginning of it, LED 2 output, relay pin output, LED output. That's the void setup of it. Now, next part of my setup is I wanted the LED 2 pin to blink. So that's all this is doing. It's turning it on with a high, waiting a second, turning it off, waiting, turning it on, so on and so forth. And then at the end of that cycle, the digital right here is for the relay pin. I'm sorry, I'm butchering my words today. The digital right is for the relay pin, and that turns it high to close the chest plate. But that only works if I have the arc reactor in place. And there's a delay of 30 in there. Next is the void loop, which just digital right turns relay pin off. So yeah, it turns it on, then turns itself off, but it keeps the LED 13 going because it's hooked to the LED on the board. So there's really not much else to do with that. And last is the helmet, which I have named Ion. So we'll go Sketchbook, Ion. Putting that up now. And here it is. So it includes the servo library at the top, includes the capacitive, oh, you can't see the servo library one. At the top includes the servo library, then the capacitive touch sensor library, my servo, and then the servo's initial position as 129, just because that's the most convenient way it does it. At that position, it won't bump and interfere with my phone being in the case, so it doesn't get in the way of the arm's movement. Then I just have one sensor hooked up to it between pins 4 and 2. Serial begin again, my servo attached pin 9, pin mode LED built in. This is once again the pin 13 LED right here. So that's just saying it's a high. And then once again in the void setup, this is just lights blinking for the startup sequence. And I staggered the delay between them to get a different effect. Did I show you it? I'll show you it again, but at a different time. Let's just finish and get through the rest of this code. I hope you guys are good at pausing, because this is the first time I've actually went over code. But I'll copy and paste it and email it to myself so I could put it in the link of this video. Why you get dark? Uh-oh, my phone's starting to die, y'all. I'm gonna have to, and I only have less than a minute to explain this last part, which is going to be simple. So yeah, then it's actually the exact same thing, except it just blinks the LEDs. It's the same as the arm, except it just blinks the LEDs. And it's a lot more simple because I only used one capacitive touch sensor. So yeah, this is the void loop. Now, thanks for watching. It's Rasan64. I gotta go. Have a good day. Goodbye.